Good morning, cadets. I welcome you back to the next class, that is computer science with Python. In the previous classes, we had seen the basics of Python programming, that in getting started with Python, what was the history of the Python, why the name was given, which are the famous companies they are using the Python, isn't it? And then what we have studied, what are the advantages of Python, why it is so popular, and of course some of the limitations, disadvantages, various kinds of distributions we have seen where we can work with the Python, like CPython, standard one, then Anaconda, others. As you know that the Python IDLE, that integrated development learning environment, comes with a package like an editor, the interpreter, as well as your libraries. This all we have seen, and also I suggested you to install your Python package on your desktop, laptop, or on your Android device. Then you have also seen how the Python programs are executed, even though you may not be knowing what kind of statements were written there, how they work, their syntax and all, just to demonstrate you how Python programs works. But now actually to understand how the Python programming can be done, how the programs can be written in Python, we need to understand the Python fundamentals. Now in this Python fundamentals, let us have a review. I have broken the sub steps or subtopics, what you can say, the features of Python, that is character set, then the tokens. These terms you may not understand now, but these are the headings which contains keywords, identifiers, literals, operators and punctuators. Once if you go through all these things, let us have a structure of a Python program, how exactly a Python program structure will be. In that we have various points like expressions, statement, comments, functions, blocks and indentation. Then further part, variables and assignments, simple input output using the statements like input statement and print statement. Before going into detail, let me tell you about the introduction. Yes, what you are seeing on the screen now, it is a high level language. I told you what is a low level language, what is a high level language, isn't it? High level language is machine independent language. Program written on one machine can be worked on some other machine also, with some other platform also. It is not dependent on any particular kind of machine. The programs written in high level languages are English oriented statements will be there. We programmers can be easily write the statements in this. Then whatever it should be interpreted by the interpreter. See, so many terminologies with the Python are involved here. High level language, interpreted language, used for general purpose, and a dynamic. The term itself suggests it is a very popular and used in various types of applications. General purpose, for all purposes, almost all it covers. This Python language focuses on code readability. Readability means the code means you are nothing but the statements written in a program. Whatever the program will write, it is called as a program code. Readability, it makes very simple in understanding or reading the program. The syntax in Python helps the programmers to do coding in less number of steps as compared to the other languages like C, C++, Java, etc. With this background about Python programming, let us learn the basic elements of Python programming. The first one, the most important one, is a character set. Now before moving on to what is the character set in a programming language, let us know in our conventional languages also like English, what is the character set there? Yes, the English language allows you what all characters. What is a character means? As you know that To understand any conventional language or any programming language, we need to know its basic building blocks. What are the basic building blocks in your English language? Alphabets, capital A to Z, small a to Z, digits. Then you use separators like comma, semicolon, colon, single quote, double quote. We are using it or not, isn't it? These are called as basically, or any kind of a symbol, dollar symbol, then rupee symbol, exclamatory symbol, question mark. These all are special characters. Thus, maybe an alphabet, maybe a digit, or maybe a special symbol. In general, it is called as a character. If you know the characters in an English language like alphabet, digits, and all special characters, that is not the end of it, that you know the English language properly. No. You need to know about the grammar of that language, because using these basic characters, we constitute a words. Sequence of words makes you a sentence, isn't it? Collection of such sentences make a paragraph. Paragraph will make you the pages of text, isn't it? When you construct a sentence in English, how much it is meaningful, whether the sentence constructed is meaningful or not, it will be decided by the grammar what you have used. Similarly, here in our programming language like Python also, we need to know the basic characters that allowed, identified by the language. If any symbol, whatever you want, you can write, your English language will not understand. Understood? It should be in the set allowed by the English language. Similarly, when we are writing the Python programs, the characters which you are going to use should be identified the Python interpreter. Then only it will understand. If you use some other character which is not allowed by it, then it causes an error. Your program will not be executing. That's why, what is a character set now? Let us see here. It is a bunch of identifying elements in the programming language. In general, we are telling, not related to only Python. What we are saying here? A group of elements which are identified by any programming language. If it identifies, then it knows its meaning. If it will not identifying, then it doesn't know its meaning. Hence, it will not obey your instruction properly, isn't it? That's how character set is a bunch of identifying elements in the programming language. A simple definition of a character set. You can write in your own sentence a group of symbols which are identified by a language, programming language, is a character set. You can form your own sentence, there is no problem. Just the contents presented in the slide are just an idea what is a character set is. Now moving on to the next slide. See here on your slide, the character set are made in the groups, subgroups, isn't it? So that you can easily remember. Need not remember all the symbols, but at least we should know which symbols are allowed, which symbols are not allowed, which are generally called as a character. First category is alphabets, that's called as letters, capital A to Z and small a to Z, digits 0 to 9. Special symbols, the space is nothing but a blank, like plus, minus, division are your arithmetic operators, as you know. Then there is a symbol, less than symbol, greater than symbol, exclamatory symbol, that is equal to symbol, not equal to symbol, single quote, double quote, dollar, comma, semicolon, colon, question mark, and so on. There are a certain set of such characters which are known as a special symbols, because they are neither letters nor digits, therefore they comes under the category of special symbols. Now, white spaces, collectively this blank space, horizontal tab, vertical tab, carries return, they are collectively called as a white spaces. What do you mean by a white space? In general, we will discuss in the subsequent slides, but at this point of time you should know what is a white space. Space is nothing but a blank, that's why it is written as a blank space. Sometimes whenever you type a particular character, it appears on the screen, but sometimes when you press key, you don't see anything on the screen, but action will be done. For example, as you know that carries return is nothing but your enter key on the keyboard. When you press an enter key, some action will be done there. when you are working with computer with any kind of package or software, when you press, you'll get some kind of response or some action takes place. What is a tab? Tab is nothing but, that you might have seen on the keyboard, there is a tab button, horizontal tab and vertical tab. So tab is nothing but a group of blanks is called as a tab. That is a white space, means 8 blanks collectively known as a tab. Okay, further we will have more discussion on the white spaces, but you remember that these are the characters or these are the keys which will have an action, but they are not visible on the screen. Other characters are also there other than that. So such totally 256 ASCII and Unicode characters. We'll discuss later what is exactly the ASCII and Unicode. ASCII is American Standard Code for Information Interchange, where every characters have a numerical code of 7-bit or 8-bit. That is what we call it as a ASCII, and Unicode is universal code. If your character is coded in this type of format, Unicode, then it will be used everywhere, accepted by everybody. That is called as a Unicode. Let us hope you understood what is exactly the character set. Let me repeat once again: letters, digits, special symbols, white spaces and other characters. In general, all 256 characters of ASCII and Unicodes are identified and processed by the Python. This much you remember. Now let me move next to the next slide. As we have seen in our heading here, after characteristics we are moving to the tokens. What is a token exactly? Another name for token is a lexical unit. Both are same, token or lexical unit. Let us see what is a token, the definition. The individual elements that are identified by a programming language are called tokens. What is the individual element? Suppose if in English if you write a sentence, happy birthday to you, there will be a blank between happy birthday to and you, isn't it? So your happy is a word, birthday is a word, to is a word, you is a word. They are individual elements in the sentences of your English, right? Similarly, when you write a C++ or a Python statements, when you write individual element which are identified by programming languages, because in your English happy birthday, happy, it will identify what is the meaning, birthday it will identify, to as well as you, it will understand. Na? Similarly, in a Python statement, when the individual elements are present in a Python statements, they are called as tokens. Further I will explain you what are the types of tokens and all. For example, if I write a plus 10, isn't it? A plus 10, it is the expression a plus 10. So it is altogether written a plus 10. So it is a token, because there is no blanks in between a plus 10. It is not individual elements is there. Okay, like that we will see later what is exactly token, examples of token, how they are written. But here at this point of time you should know what is the meaning of token. Once again I will repeat the definition. Individual elements that are identified by a language, programming language, are called as tokens or lexical unit. Now let us see types of tokens or types of lexical units. You see this picture, it is numbered also, so that in detail we will see one by one lexical units here. First one, keywords. Another name for keywords is also reserved words. Second, identifiers. Third, literals. Fourth, operators. And fifth, punctuators. These are the types of tokens available in Python. Keywords or reserved words. I will explain you what exactly meaning of keywords and reserved words. Identifiers, literals. Another name for literals is constants. Another name for identifiers are variables, operators and punctuators. Let us discuss these tokens one by one. What is a keyword or a reserved word? Let me tell you an example so that you can remember what is the meaning of a keyword. In your dictionary, if you use a word, yes, can you tell me or can you recall any one sentence which is available in the dictionary of your English? Perform. Perform is a word. Its meaning, if you go and search on the dictionary, if you get the meaning, if meaning is available, it is a keyword. It is a reserved words because your English knows the meaning of that word. Suppose if you use another word which is not present in the dictionary, it is not a reserved word. It is not a keyword. It may be that word may be used in your community, may be used in your students, friends circle, but its meaning is not available in the. So such words whose meanings are known to the dictionary. Here also such words which are known to the Python interpreter are called as keywords or reserved words. Now let me see the definition. Keywords are also called as reserved words. These are having special meaning in Python language. The words are defined in the Python interpreter, hence these can't be used as programming identifiers. What do you mean by identifiers now? Other than reserved words, other than keywords, they are called as identifiers. That is the next token available that we'll discuss. But at this point of time, you understand what is the meaning of a keyword or a reserved word. Keyword is that word whose meaning is known to Python interpreter, Python language. The moment you spell it, it understands. That's why it is called as the reserved word or a keyword. Some of the keywords you can see here, just for your knowledge sake. No need to have know the meaning at this point of time. And, brek, break, continue, else, for, elif, def. The moment you spell this word, automatically your Python language understand. Okay, and one more thing you see here, all these words are written in small cases only. Your reserved words or keywords are written in small cases. Just some of the examples. Some more examples: if, not, while, try, or, import, print. These all are also examples of some of the Python keywords. Now, opposite to the reserved words, which are not reserved words, which are not keywords, they are called as an identifier. Let me see the definition of identifier here. It is a name. The name itself suggests that identifier, a label given to identify, a word used to identify. That's all identifier. A Python identifier is a name given to a function or a class or a variable or a module or any other objects that you will be using in your Python. So these are the other kinds of features what we are using in Python. At this point of time, we need not necessary to know what is exactly class, what is the meaning of a module and all. They are the some of the components available in the Python program. In simple way, you remember that it is a name given to any of the components in Python, or a label given to identify something. An object is known as an identifier. In short, it is a name appeared in the program. If it is not a reserved word or a keyword, then it will be an identifier. Unless and until it should be a valid identifier. What is valid, what is invalid, we will see next. Now example, A, B, C. Yes, A, B and C are the identifiers. Understood? Because A, B, C, they are not reserved words. And also here, how many tokens are available? You just see individual. A is individual, comma is individual, B is individual, C is comma is once again individual. So A, B, C and your comma are the examples of tokens, right? Now, reserved words and keywords you have to spell properly as available in the Python programming language. Then it will identify, it knows the meaning, it does the action accordingly. Whereas identifier, when you are naming an identifier, you might have seen in some of the times when you're opening any account online, choose a password and it will give a rule that at least one capital alphabet must be there. Then your you can have digits and alphabets combination, but at least one special characters must be there. Same like that the rule gave, na? Then only it will take it as a valid password. Similarly, to identify, there are some rules. To make an identifier or to name an identifier, they are called as naming conventions or identifier forming rules. What are these? Let us see. Number one, an identifier can be a combination of uppercase letters, lowercase letters, underscores. What is an underscore? You have seen on the keyboard anytime? Yes? One hyphen will be there on the keyboard. On the same key, there will be another symbol written down. If up it is written, it is a hyphen. Down it is written, it is an underscores. And digits 0 to 9. Hence the following are valid identifiers. What all the identifiers it says now? You can use uppercase alphabet or lowercase alphabet, and underscore you can use, and digits you can use. You see in examples here, my class, valid identifier, my underscore variable. Now the question comes, why this underscore? There is a reason for that, because a space, blank space is a character. In the character set you have seen, blank space, yes, because your blank is also a character. Now instead of writing my underscore variable, if I write my blank variable, then blank is also a character. It's just that in the next rule says that no other special characters are allowed. Therefore, instead of a blank, there we are using underscore to connect two words. My underscore variable, where underscore 1, print underscore hello underscore world. In my class you might have seen capital C is also there, and the digits are not compulsory how to use. If at all if you want to use, you can use. That's how in where underscore 1 contains underscore also, digit also, as well as the alphabets. This is the first rule. What the first rule says? It may be a combination of uppercase, lowercase, underscore and digits 0 to 9. The second rule, the first character must be a letter. What is the meaning of this now? Yes, the first character must be a letter or underscore. Let us make that correction there. Even your first character is, instead what we can say, the first character should not be a digit. The meaning of which is should not be a digit. Meaning of which is it may be any character or it may be even underscore also. Special characters such as percentage sign, at the rate, dollar are not allowed. Any special characters are not allowed. An identifier should not begin with a digit, not number, should not begin with a digit. For example, to variable is an invalid identifier because it's starting with a, it is not a valid. Instead of to variable, if you write variable to, it is a valid identifier. Next rule is a case sensitive language, that is a behavior extends to identifiers. Thus labor and labor are two distinct identifiers. What is the difference between these two words? One is capital L is having first letter, another one is having small l in the first as a first letter. Therefore both are different identifiers. And remember, no any reserve word or a keyword of Python can be used as identifier. You cannot use Python keywords as identifiers. Same thing is repeated. Okay, you can use underscores to separate multiple words in your identifier. Let me summarize, okay, so that you can, in the next slide questions are there, which are valid, which are invalid. To understand that, number one, you can have a combination of uppercase, lowercase, underscores or digits. Second rule says that your identifier should not start with a digit. Very simple. The third one, a case sensitive. The fourth one, what you can say, keywords cannot be used as identifiers. Then no special characters are allowed. Let me repeat once again, maybe a combination of uppercase, lowercase, underscore or digits. First character should not be a digit. No special characters are allowed except underscore. Should not start with a digit here, it says. Then is a case sensitive. Okay, keywords cannot be used as identifiers, and underscores may be used. It is a special character, but it is allowed as exception to separate multiple words can be joined, okay, using a. Now let us see the examples here. Can you think this slide? How exactly? Yes. Why they are valid? Why the second set is not valid? In the first set you can see here, my file 1, no blank is there. First letter is alphabet, capital of course, digit 1 is allowed. Y3 M9 D3 valid. My file all capitals allowed. Date 9_7_8 means what? Digits are allowed, underscore is allowed, even your capital letters are also allowed. Underscore access, I told you, your first letter may be underscore also, only it should not be a digit, that's all. That is how underscore affects the. In invalid, can you tell me why they are invalid now? My hyphen rec. Hyphen is a special character, not allowed. 28 DRE, first letter is digit, not allowed. Brec is a keyword, not allowed. Elif is a keyword, not allowed. False is a keyword, not allowed. Del is a keyword, not allowed. Okay. Now before going to the identify literals, that is a part of a constant, let me stop our class today here. Just if I go back, if you just summarize what we have studied today, let me see, okay, from the first slide onwards. What is a Python character set? Okay, what do you mean by a token? Another name for token is a lexical unit, okay, and then types of tokens, keywords, identifiers, literals, operators and punctuators. Today we have discussed about the keyword as well as identifiers. Some of the examples of keywords I have shown you. Identifier also, what is an identifier and what are the rules to name an identifier we have seen, and some of the valid identifiers and invalid identifiers also we have seen. So today I will stop here. Okay, please open the soft copy of the book I have already sent of this chapter. Please open, notes also I have sent. Please open that chapter and do some exercise to find out which are valid or invalid identifiers. Let me stop my class today here and we'll continue in the next class.